Hello, I'm Joe Hren. A traveling half-size replica of the Vietnam Veterans War Memorial came to the Owen County State Fair this week. As WTIU Simon Thompson reports, Owen County school kids had to raise almost $9,000.
Joe Goldman is a Vietnam veteran living in Owen County.
There's a pilot that was in an aircraft that I was a crew chief on the wall down here, died June 4th, 1968, Eric Bryce. And so it means a lot.
Goldman has travelled to Washington, D.C. to see the original memorial and honour his fellow soldiers. But he says not everyone can afford to make that trip. The moving wall travels across the country to give people a chance to pay their respects to those who died serving in the Vietnam War. Kathleen Newman Arthur's late husband was a Vietnam War veteran. She worked to bring the wall here to the fairgrounds and got her 4-H group involved.
It's meant a lot to a lot of them that, not only that's here, but that the next generation is doing it, the ones coming up, and these are all school-age kids, and so that's meant a lot to these people that, they took the time to do it.
There will be a closing ceremony and a flag folding before the wall leaves at noon on Monday. For WTIU News, I'm Simon Thompson.
And grassroots organizations in Indiana and across the country are seeking to raise the minimum wage. Indiana Jobs with Justice recently kicked off what officials say will likely be a year-long campaign to raise the wage floor to more than $10 per hour, up from Indiana and the federal government's floor of $7.25 per hour.
We have research from the National Employment Law Center that indicates that it could create 3,000 jobs in Indiana, because when you raise the wage floor, then those workers have way more money to put back in the economy.
But officials from the Indiana Chamber of Commerce say raising the minimum wage is not the answer. They weren't available for a recorded interview, but in an email, a chamber spokesman cited research from the Heritage Foundation that indicates raising the minimum wage will force businesses to hire fewer workers.
By and large, there's not a strong consensus in one direction or the other from a large body of research that's been done over many decades. Most of the studies that have been published come from one or another side with a vested interest.
Conover says whether government officials decide to raise the minimum wage will likely come down not to economics, but politics. And now checking the weather forecast. First for tonight, mostly cloudy, a slight chance of thunderstorms, lows down to 66 degrees tomorrow. More rain, highs in the lower 80s tomorrow night, partly cloudy with lows in the lower 60s, and in the 5-day forecast, warmer temperatures, 85 by Sunday.